What do you get when you combine an alien and a human together? That's right, just as you thought. A road trip. What? Yeah. Yeah, you get a science fiction action adventure road trip, pretty much. I don't know how people would think about when it comes to this franchise, but I mean, not certainly something I would have thought of, but we gotta work with what we gotta work with. And hey, that could sound pretty cool if you at least give me something that I can latch myself onto and know that, hey, we're in a better direction now than we were a couple of years ago. I want to go back to the days of when the last time they did a theatrical version of Predator, that didn't pan out. Okay, I don't want that. Okay, please, please, let's just move on and do better.
We might not be alone in this hunt.
Predator-Badlands is directed once again by Dan Trachtenberg with a screenplay by Patrick Aison and Brian Duffield, and a story by Dan Trachtenberg and Patrick Aison. The film stars Elle and Dimitrius Schuster-Koloamatangi. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, a young predator outcast from his clan finds an unlikely ally on his journey in search of the ultimate adversary. Who would have thought we would get two Predator movies in a single year alone? I don't think any fan was expecting to have two back-to-back movies of a franchise that we all thought at one point, there's no way. It can never come back, no possible chance. Probably was just a fluke. It was just good, but no, people, Predator franchise is now riding high because, yes, if you saw my review for it, I really enjoyed Predator Killers, but I was really looking forward to this outing. And this one in particular because this would be my first time in a while being in a theater watching a new Predator movie on the big screen and deliver me something that I always enjoy about this series, which is just the chaos, the carnage, whatever it may be. But this is PG-13. We can't do any of that blood, gory type of stuff. We gotta be a little bit clean. So, it's PG-13 now. So that's a little disappointing. But hey, can you at least just deliver me on some good Predator action at the very least? Because I mean, hey, this is now centering on the Predator. Because yes, for the first time, that's what we're doing. We're now focusing on the Predator this time. No more Arnold Schwarzenegger's, Danny Glover's. We are focusing on just solely the Predator. What makes him him? That's what we all want to know, right? At least some of us would like to know. Prey was just a nice resurgence that the series needed after 2018's The Predator. I have mentioned this in the Killers review. That movie really left things on a very down note for the franchise. That movie was a complete utter mess, and it just really showed how much that even if Shane Black is a talented filmmaker himself, even he couldn't save a movie like that. Now having the Yatra, the predator species, now taking center stage, and that was the name of the species ever since the 90s, this could finally shake up the series moving forward. This could now put this franchise on a different trajectory than we would have ever expected from a series like this, that at one point we all just thought was just a simple but really awesome series for what it wanted to do. I can definitely say that this is now my second favorite behind the original. I do mean that. This is a really damn good Predator movie. Now, yes, does it do stuff that is completely different to the Predator series as a whole? Yes, absolutely. I was even a little bit nervous because of the fact that they were making connections to the Alien franchise with the Weyland-Yutani Corporation being in here. But thankfully, that didn't bother me at all because by the end, I found this to be a very satisfying film that Dan Trachtenberg has created, and I am so happy he is in charge of this franchise because seriously, I really don't know where this could have gone in terms of what it wanted to be, and he is probably the one thing that is keeping this series alive in terms of really making it feel not like it is trying to be a mandate by 20th Century Fox and now Disney. He is just coming in here saying, hey, let's make this the movie that you guys obviously want to make, but I want to do it the way how I see fit. And really, Trachtenberg just shows his love and passion for this series while taking it just in a new way. That's the best part about it, is that you can clearly tell he loves this series. He clearly appreciates what he enjoys about the franchise and what this series is, but he wants to do it in a way where he can now put in a better path moving forward, making it feel completely different than what most people would have thought this franchise was at one point. And thankfully, he is now finding a new path for this franchise to now go down. Before addressing my only issue with this movie, here are the positives that I found. The performances are fun. Elle Fanning is lovable and funny as Thea, a synthetic from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. These are the androids that are from the Alien franchise that the corporation uses to kind of blend in with humans. Fanning shows off her kindness while also adding some humor and courage to her that usually when you have a sidekick like this, you tend to kind of groan and moan about it. And sure, you can probably see where this could really irritate some fans, and maybe some might find it really annoying. But for myself personally, I actually found it a welcome addition because to me, yeah, it's a little bit weird and a little annoying in the beginning, but I think as the movie goes on, it works out in the end because she becomes more useful and helpful to Deck's journey, and also her story as well is, I think, very interesting and very parallel to Dex as well. And I also do think that she does well at playing Tess, who is Faye's twin synthetic sister, and I say sister because in the Alien franchise, they're just the same looking type of model of synthetics that the Weyland-Yutani Corporation uses it. They're not actually related in any way. They look alike. And unlike they, Tessa is ruthless and cold towards her sister, and one that seems like she is very serious on what she is capable of and wants to do with the mission that Weyland-Yutani has for the both of them. And they feel completely different. There's no any sort of feeling that they are the same person. They all feel like their own different versions of these synthetic life forms that are portrayed well by Elle Fanning herself. Dimitrius Schuster-Koloamatangi is compelling and interesting as Deck, a young and inexperienced Yatra who's looking for the biggest trophy to earn respect for his clan. Koloamatangi moves fluently as the species has been previously portrayed in past films, and he really embodies what the Yatua are kind of like, although, of course, he is the runt of the group. He is somebody who is smaller and not as strong as most other predators have been in the past, and that's what makes him really uniquely different. And he also just makes him different in how he just stands out on his own by being expressive and having a motivation for him. Because most of the times with the Predator franchise, the Yachuas tend to kind of just have a simple mind and simple focus, just hunt the big game, that's it. But here, Deck has a reason. There's a purpose for him of why he's on this journey, and it's really fascinating to watch a Predator having to go through a lot of trouble to earn the respect of his people simply because of the fact that he is just not seen in a positive light by not only his father but just his entire clan as well. Both Fanning and Koloamatangi work really well together, making for a great dynamic in the movie. They have some good banners back and forth with one another, and again, even though Koloamatangi isn't speaking, even though he's doing the body language of Deck, I do find it very fascinating to watch these two kind of go back and forth with one another, have these really interesting conversations, even though I find it funny that Deck put up with a lot of her silliness than what most people would have done, but still I found Fanning and Koloamatangi to work like a good duo for this movie, and one that I would like to see more of because I found them to be really fascinating to watch while they are working together and kicking a lot of ass. The direction is solid. Again, director Dan Trachtenberg offers a refreshing but exciting film that sees a predator be the main focus than the antagonist this time around. Still finding creative ways to expand this universe, lore of the Predators into the mainstream than instead of like the comics, because of course there has been expansive stuff, but not a lot of people read a lot of the Predator comics. I'm glad that he's able to take material that was there for him and he appreciates it and shows his love and dedication to what this series is by what he does in the film, whether it be Deck, his journey, but also just the culture and this world that he is building for Predator universe and how he is able to implement ways to change it up each time, and for us to follow a Yautja trying to get the perspective of his clan and his father was really fascinating and fun to watch, and one that I appreciate seeing Trachtenberg just deliver. That was just awesome to enjoy. The action is awesome. Seeing Dex slicing, stabbing against the plants, creatures, and Yutani synthetics was thrilling. It also allows for Dex to get creative with his kills. Because throughout the movie, yes, see him use a lot of his weaponry at his disposal, and a lot of it is really entertaining stuff. But by the end of the movie, just like with kind of most Predator movies, he has to use his wit, use his environment to defeat his enemy. And for him to pretty much use this dangerous festive planet of Jenna is exciting. It was pretty awesome to watch, seeing him just use all these different creative ways to dispose of enemies and just slicing and hacking down these synthetics was really fun and really cool. And even taking down some of the creatures of the planet I thought was awesome to see. The story is investing. Following the outcast Yatra and synthetic hunting down a creature was interesting but also different. Allowing the Predator to be the central focus was, I think, the good choice for the direction that the series can go, where it can hopefully keep on growing and keep on expanding, but in a really fun and unique way than what I think they've been doing for the past 30 to 35 years, which is just simply having a human go up against a predator. And that is fun, but you kind of start to think to yourself, man, I wish you could just kind of change this up a bit. And thankfully, having Deck be our main character, he doesn't at any point speak any language other than his own. So it's great knowing that he just sticks to what he's used to, subtitles and all, I thought was really awesome, and I think could have really challenged a lot of people with regards to how this could come off. It can work for some and not work for others, but for me, I found it really refreshing, and just having him be on this very dangerous, infested planet filled with everything that wants to kill him is really, really cool to see, and it just was nice change of pace for once in the series. The effects are incredible. Every detail on the outro is both practical and visual. The creatures, the synths, and vehicles look amazing. Everything just blends together throughout. There's never a point where anything becomes terribly looking or feeling like it doesn't fit at all. Everything just is natural and flowing together in a way where it felt seamless and it all felt like it was right for what it is. And yeah, the practicality, even at times on the Yachuas, looks really amazing. It's incredible on how much detailing goes into some of the suit design for it, and even some of the environment too looks incredible. So yeah, I am happy to see a franchise that is able to use the practicality while also using visual effects to kind of touchen it up. And yeah, even when you look at Deck's face, which yeah, I know at first in the like trailers and all, everyone was kind of put off by it, but it really works. He's very expressive. He's very emotive with his facial features. It's really cool to see a creature like this for once seem like he has emotion rather than just being like a killing machine. The cinematography is beautiful. Cinematographer Jeff Cutter captures a chaotic but fluent film that showcases Jenna, a dangerous planet, as dangerous and terrifying to be on. He also shoots the action very well. A lot of scenes where when the action does go down, it's well framed, well shot, well executed in the way in which it's supposed to come off. And yeah, the scenery of it, Jenna, or even like the Yatro's home planet, I think looks incredible, otherworldly. It really feels like you are in a science fiction action adventure. It doesn't ever feel like it's cheap in any way. It never felt like it was lacking in certain areas. It all felt really beautiful to look at in the sceneries that they are in. The music is intense. Composers Sarah Schuckner and Benjamin Wolfish creates a score that feels tribal and explosive, echoing Alan Silvestri's score of the original in a way where it's not beat for beat, but more so like just echoing how much that music really feels as if it has its own identity. It feels different than most other scores you would hear, and really gets the energy going with regards to the sequences that happen and adds a bit of character to this movie where it seems as if it is very otherworldly in how it is portrayed, but it feels tribal in the sense of how Deck kind of approaches things and how the Yachuas are seen. it fits within that vibe, and then of course with the action sequences themselves, it all worked out in a way where it all was beneficial in all areas. The pacing and runtime is effective. Every scene is fast paced and straight to the point. With a runtime of 1 hour and 47 minutes, it's efficient at getting through. Never a point where it dulls out, never a point where it drags on. It just manages to just tell you what you need to know and just keep going. Never once does it stop, and it just keeps on throwing stuff at you, but not in a way where it makes you just question everything. It makes you just kind of go along with what the adventure is and how it is set. And I am happy seeing that a film like this can be able to tell a story like that in that short amount of time. It works better in that way than going over 2 hours. The production is stellar. Seeing all the hard work shows the dedication to retain the series look, but allowing it to expand. From the sets, props, and crew work, it all paid off in the end. You can tell by how much of that dedication is there for the people that work on these movies, or just the way in which sets themselves, props, all that detailing that goes into it. It's incredible to see so many people put a lot of hard work into the nitty-gritty detailing that you may not notice and you wouldn't even pay attention, but yet somehow they are able to pull it off in a way where it really is continuing what the Predator franchise is known for, whilst having a brighter future for this series to go on. And with so much of that hard work here showing that off, I really respect it for that. The hunt was on track. Everything was there for this to be pretty much almost perfect, but there was one problem that kept it from being a clean, just straightforward film that was just fantastic. So here is now my only negative. The villain is a bit underwhelming. While Tessa could have been more interesting, she just ultimately became kind of generic by the end. There is a part in the movie where there's a competition between Thea and Tessa and their conversation together while Deck is held captive. That's interesting, and it adds for a context that is similar to Deck's situation. However, by the end, I just don't think she was given much more than that, and if she was given more, she could have been further developed than I think the movie should have done, but instead it just kind of devolved into, well, we just need to get to the bad guy, just have this big action set piece, which is really cool. It's really awesome, but it does then kind of underdevelop Tessa in a way where she just becomes pretty much a villain to fight. And it was entertaining, I'm not lying, but I wish she was a little bit further developed than what that one scene that we had could have shown how much she would have been developed further. Trachtenberg continues to further develop the Predator's lore by focusing on the species, then repeating itself. It delivers on what fans are hoping for and will feel satisfying to watch and to experience. And I'm just glad to see that this series lives on today, because again, there was a time where this series was on death's door. It almost felt like the series was pretty much ruined. And yet Trachtenberg, through Prey, through Killer of Killers, he managed to still continue to give fans, I think, something that a lot of people would learn to appreciate and hopefully enjoy. Not all fans will love it, but to me, I am happy with what he's doing with his franchise, and I can't wait to see more of what he can do. I'm going to give Predator-Badlands a 9 out of 10. I found this movie to be amazing. It is exciting to see a Predator movie in the theater again, and that reinvigorates the franchise in a way where I am so excited to see what he can do with more of it. I really do. Mr. Trachtenberg, love you. Keep on doing the good work, my man, because really, I'm excited to see where you're going with this. And truly, I wish you all the best of luck. So I will be soon doing a review for Zootopia. So yes, look forward to that review and other reviews coming soon.